Hello and welcome to this video about the health impacts of household air pollution. Did you know that around a third of the world's population still relies on open fires or inefficient stoves to cook their food? These sources of energy produce harmful smoke that can cause serious diseases and even death. In this video, we will explore some of the facts and figures about household air pollution and what can be done to prevent it. About 2.4 billion people around the world still use solid fuels, such as wood, crop waste, charcoal, coal and dung, and kerosene to cook their food in open fires and inefficient stoves. Most of these people are poor and live in low and middle income countries. There is a big gap in access to cleaner cooking options between urban and rural areas. In 2020, only 14% of urban dwellers depended on polluting fuels and technologies, compared to 52% of the rural population globally. Household air pollution is caused by the use of dirty and inefficient fuels and technologies in and around the home that produce a range of harmful pollutants, including small particles that can penetrate deep into the lungs and enter the bloodstream. In poorly ventilated homes, indoor smoke can have levels of fine particles 100 times higher than acceptable. Exposure is especially high among women and children, who spend the most time near the domestic fire. Relying on polluting fuels and technologies also takes a lot of time for cooking on an inefficient device, and collecting and preparing fuel. Considering the widespread use of dirty fuels and stoves for cooking, WHO issued a set of guidelines, the Guidelines for Indoor Air Quality, Household Fuel Combustion, which provide practical evidence-based advice on what fuels and technologies used in the home can be considered clean, including recommendations against using kerosene and unprocessed coal, specifying the performance of fuels and technologies needed to protect health, and stressing the importance of addressing all household energy uses, especially cooking, space heating and lighting, to ensure benefits for health and the environment. WHO defines fuels and technologies that are clean for health at the point of use as solar, electricity, biogas, liquefied petroleum gas, natural gas, alcohol fuels, as well as biomass stoves that meet the emission targets and the WHO guidelines. Without strong policy action, 2.1 billion people are expected to still lack access to clean fuels and technologies in 2030. There is a particularly urgent need for action in sub-Saharan Africa, where population growth has surpassed access to clean cooking, and 923 million people lacked access in 2020. Strategies to increase the adoption of clean household energy include policies that provide financial support to purchase cleaner technologies and fuels, improved ventilation or housing design, and communication campaigns to encourage clean energy use. Every year, 3.2 million people die early from diseases caused by the household air pollution from burning solid fuels and kerosene for cooking. The smoke and other pollutants from these fuels and technologies irritate the airways and lungs, weaken the immune system and reduce the oxygen carrying capacity of the blood. Among these 3.2 million deaths from household air pollution exposure, 32% are from heart disease. Exposure to household air pollution increases the risk of heart attacks and other cardiovascular problems. About 12% of all deaths from heart disease are linked to household air pollution. 23% are from stroke. Exposure to household air pollution can damage the blood vessels in the brain and cause strokes. About 12% of all deaths from stroke are related to household air pollution. 21% are from lower respiratory infection. Exposure to household air pollution can make people more susceptible to infections like pneumonia and bronchitis. About 44% of all deaths from pneumonia in children under 5 years old are due to household air pollution. 19% are from chronic lung disease. Exposure to household air pollution can cause chronic inflammation and scarring of the lungs, leading to COPD. About 23% of all deaths from COPD in adults in low and middle income countries are due to household air pollution, and 6% are from lung cancer. Exposure to household air pollution can expose people to carcinogens that can cause lung cancer. About 11% of all deaths from lung cancer in adults are due to household air pollution. Household air pollution was responsible for the loss of an estimated 86 million healthy life years in 2019, with the largest burden falling on women living in low and middle income countries. Almost half of all deaths from lower respiratory infection among children under 5 years of age are caused by inhaling fine particles from household air pollution. There is also evidence of links between household air pollution and low birth weight, tuberculosis, cataract, nose and throat cancers. Significant policy changes are needed to rapidly increase the number of people with access to clean fuels and technologies by 2030 to address health inequalities, achieve the 2030 Agenda for Sustainable Development, and mitigate climate change. Women and children suffer the most from the health effects of polluting fuels and technologies in homes, as they usually do most of the household work such as cooking and collecting firewood and spend more time exposed to harmful smoke from polluting stoves and fuels. Collecting fuel increases the risk of injuries and takes a lot of time for women and children, limiting their education and other productive activities. In less secure environments, women and children are at risk of harm and violence while collecting fuel. Many of the fuels and technologies used by households for cooking, heating and lighting pose safety risks. The accidental ingestion of kerosene is the main cause of childhood poisoning, and a large proportion of the severe burns and injuries occurring in low and middle-income countries are linked to household energy use for cooking, heating and lighting. The lack of access to electricity for over 750 million people forces households to rely on polluting devices and fuels, such as kerosene lamps for lighting, thus exposing them to very high levels of fine particles. The time spent using and preparing fuel for inefficient, polluting devices limits other opportunities for health and development, such as studying, leisure time, or productive activities. Black carbon and methane emitted by inefficient stove combustion are powerful short-lived climate pollutants. We hope you enjoyed this video and learned something new about household air pollution. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos like this one. Stay healthy and see you next time.